Any advice on how to avoid nihilism? Well, there was an interesting comment in on YouTube today, I think, that someone mentioned nihilism and said that this kind of practice is basically nihilism. And then someone said, well, what's wrong with nihilism? Or not what's wrong with nihilism, but what's what reason do you have to think that nihilism isn't the truth? And I guess the point is that the real question is that I would ask is, what do you mean by nihilism? Because the Buddha was accused of being nihilist. And he said, well, there's a way in which you could understand me to be nihilist, because I teach for the annihilation. Nihilism means the teaching annihilation, and the Buddha teaches annihilation. He teaches the annihilation of greed, the annihilation of anger, the annihilation of delusion, the annihilation of all evil states, of all manifold unwholesome states. And he said, in that way you could understand me to be a nihilist, because I teach this annihilation. To get a little bit more directly to your question, the framework from which you're asking is wrong. It's the same as how do you avoid determinism, because all of these questions, they assume a framework, a structure of the universe that isn't really there. There is no framework, there is no three-dimensional space. That's all an extrapolation based on experience. Reality is practical. Reality is moment-to-moment experience. That doesn't change whether you hold this view or that view. But all of our views are extrapolation from that. All that we have is a moment-to-moment experience. And the Buddha taught taught us to change this experience in a good way, in a positive way, to remove all of the unwholesomeness. He didn't teach any kind of view. He explained reality as it was in order to help people to understand it and to overcome their attachments to suffering, basically, and the things that lead them to suffer, because he realized for himself what was the cause of suffering. And that's really it. You have to understand, not only is Buddhism focused on the practical, Buddhism claims that practical is reality. Reality is only a practical thing.